Yo, Trap Trader here. Man, I just shot this whole video. This is the second time I'm shooting a video. This is my second time doing this on a video. Shooting a video with no sound. I'm trying to grow as a YouTuber. I'm a trader, not a YouTuber, guys. I'm sorry. But hopefully this video do grow knowledge from it. As you can see on the screen, I lost a pro account today. I got another pro account, but I did lose this one today. Took heavy risk on it on the last. Well, I didn't lose it today. I lost it yesterday. Took heavy risk on it yesterday, which caused me to lose it. And I was already heading on the journey to lose it, so I just took heavy risk on it just in case I could get back in the green or get back in my favor. But it didn't happen. You know, it happens. But I did want to come to you guys and trying to maybe not break it down, but like give you my insight on how this happens and how you can avoid losing an account like this or a PA account where you're trying to get funded and well you got funded and you trying to get a payout. The first thing I will go over is when you're trading, like when you are trading on a pro account, you cannot trade for a payout. That's one of the first things I do want to go over. I got a couple things I'm gonna go over, like maybe like four things. The video shouldn't be more than 15 minutes. That's where somewhere the range was last video. So the first thing I will go over is you cannot trade for a payout. When trading for a payout, it messes up your psychology when you come into the trading desk. You're not really you're there, but you're just trying to get it to the green. Like you're getting into a trade just to get into the green. Like you're not actually it, going through your setups. You're not going over what you're seeing. You're not going over anything that you know. Just trying to get a payout. Just trying to make some money, which you're not gonna. You can get a payout that way, but you're not gonna stay in the game long. Like you're not. You may get a payout, but you're not gonna get consistent payouts. You're not gonna get a payout this month or this week or this week and this week. You'll get one and then you'll blow the account because when you're trading for a payout, you're not. You're just trading for the P and L. You're not trading for the strategy. And if you're not trading for the strategy, you're not gonna stay in the game long enough. So when you're trading for a payout, it often leads you to like taking bigger risk and not enough reward. Like you're getting in a trade, as soon as it goes $200 in your favor, it's you're snatching it out. But the trade plan was to get $1,000, or it was to get $500, but you getting out with $200, and now you're leaving a lot on the table. And then you watch it go in your favor, then it messes up it messes up your mind. Like I should have stayed in. I should have did this. I should have did that. Now I'm mad. Now I'm finna go revenge trade. See, that's when you're trading for a payout. You start revenge trading because you're like, man, I'm finna go make that money back. I just left that money on the table. I want that back. I want that. I want this. I want that. I want that. You revenge trade. Now you start losing, and when you're losing, you're like, I just lost 200. I just lost that $200 I made back. Dang, I'm not, man, I should be done trading because I'm not in the right mindset. Nope, I'm about to go revenge trade some more. Then you find yourself looking over here where you're down. See, that first day I made 145. That second day lost 300, and you just go down a spiral like that. And I'm myself. I'm not perfect. I'm not. I understand that this is not the right way to trade, but you have to overcome that because when you're trading like that, it ends you to go down a bad hole and you start losing money, and that's not what nobody wants to do. Second thing I do want to go over is trading is supposed to be fun. Like you're supposed to have fun with trading. But when you're getting in trades, like when you're getting in trades and you're feeling anxious, you're not having fun. You're not stepping away from the computer and you have your strategy where you want it to have, and it's not going. And you can just step back and just let it play out how it play out. No, you're at the computer desk. You're moving your stop loss. You're trying to move it up here. You're moving it down there. You're just going anxious mode. And when you go in anxious mode, it kind of kills the strategy. So, and you're not having fun when you're trading, that means you're not passionate about it. You need to be passionate about this trading stuff, like where it is fun for you. Like if you're trading and you're not putting in 2, 3, 4 hours a day at the desk, going through back testing your strategy, then what are you doing, bro? Like you're not gonna win that way. You have to go over your strategy through and back and forward and back and forward. Like it's fun when you see those people on the internet or social media making $10,000, $15,000 a day, just just day trading. You see them doing, and you're like, man, I can go do that. and you just like, you're not passionate about it, but you're like, man, I want to go get that money. Goes back to getting that payout. Trading for a payout, it leads you to like that. It leads you down that path of like, man, I want to go get that payout. He just made 10,000. I know I can go make 10,000 too. But you don't have the strategy. That guy or that girl that did that or made that 10,000, they didn't set up that entry. They set up their entry, their stop loss, where their confluences was, where they were going to get in, where they were going to get out, where they're going to take their take profit. But you didn't do that. You're just seeing an end goal, but you're not seeing everything that went into it. 2-3 hours of back testing, going over that strategy, probably more than that, 10, 15 plus hours of going through that, because you have to. If you don't have a strategy that works for you, you often find yourself losing trades and not knowing why you lost them. So that's when it comes into having fun. You have to be fun. You have to have fun at this. You have to be enjoying those long nights, those early mornings when you're up to 2, 3 in the morning, just back testing your strategy, going over. Okay, I see this works. I see this works. I see that doesn't work. I see that when the EMA is in my favor, it often works more often. But if you're not having fun, you're just getting in a trade, and you're just taking any trade that you see. Like, you're just like, oh, I see that's kind of similar to the trade that he took. Okay, he made 10,000. I'm about to go try to make at least 1,000. Okay, that's a big difference. I can try to make at least some of that. But whole time, that trade that he took, he had everything in his favor. He had all his confluences. The MA was in his favor. The trend line was in his favor. The trend of the market was in his favor. But the market isn't in your favor, or the trend line is not in your favor. The MA is going sideways. You're just trying to take it because you want it. Thirdly, I will be going over is risk management. You can't risk more than you can handle. Like, if you're trying to make $300 or you're trying to risk $300, you need to make more than $600. Like, you can't risk 300 then make only $100. That's not a good risk reward ratio, because when you're risking that much, say you get in a trade, you're risking $300 and you see it go in your favor, and that's trading for a payout. Once again, it all wraps around when trading for a payout. It goes in your favor $100 and you just snatch the money out. Like, now on that next trade, you're risking $300 again, and it doesn't go in your favor, and now you're down. You find yourself losing that $300, and now you lost all the money. You lost $100 that you made, and now you're down 200. But if you would have took that first trade and played it out fully, and you just let it play, and you won that $600 or $900, 2-1 or 3-1, you find yourself taking that loss and still having some gains behind, some you can sit on. The whole time you didn't do that. You just took the $100 out. You didn't let it play out for you. Now the second trade is a loss. It's still your strategy, but it's the loss though. And now you find yourself down money. So you have to enjoy risk management. Like, you can't risk more than you can handle, and you can't just snatch yourself out of a trade, because snatching yourself out of trade, you're leaving a lot of money on the table, which comes into play when you're getting into other trades, because now you don't have a lot of capital left. That's when a lot of risk management comes into play. Fourthly, that I'll be going over is FOMO. Every entry isn't every entry and every setup doesn't have to be taken. When you're taking, you have to have a perfect. If the setup isn't perfect or into your liking, like it, or into your favor, you can't take the setup. Because if you're taking setups where your strategy is the MA needs to be sloping down, it need to be 2 hits on the top. How my strategy is, MA sloping down, 2 hits on the top, and it needs to have a clear breakout. You're not getting a clear breakout, and you're just entering because you see it get below the trend line. Now you're taking more stuff out of your favor. You make it like, trading isn't a gamble, but it's all about what's in my favor. What are my confluences? What benefits me more by taking this trade? And if you're taking all the benefits out of the trade because you're just getting in because of your FOMO, you missing the setup. Now you're more likely to get a loss. So it's okay to step back, learn from the trade, just paper trade it mentally, and say, okay, next time I may get in that. Okay, maybe I don't need the MA sloping all the way down. I just need maybe a little curve and somewhat a breakdown, and I'll enter it, because I can see the chart is favoring that strategy. But if you just enter it off willy nilly and just get into it, Now you find yourself taking a loss and you're like, oh, that wasn't my strategy. Oh, the MA was sloping sideways. It wasn't going bearish. Those losses are starting to add up and you find yourself like this where you lose your pro account. Every setup doesn't have to be taken. Sometimes you can, maybe if you just get like a sticky note, I always say get a sticky note, write down your setup and how you want it, and just mentally check it off. Like, okay, I see the MAs going in my favor, trade lines in my favor, got a breakout. Okay, now I'm setting up my ratio. Now I'm getting in. Now I want my risk reward. What am I risking? What is my reward out of the trade? That way, if you do lose that trade, you know you did everything you could. Because when you did everything you could to lose a trade, wins the losers don't hurt that worse, and the wins they feel so much better because you're like, I know how I won that trade. If somebody asks me, man, how did you make that money today? Oh, I did this, that, and that, and that, which can lead you to become a better trader overall. Those are the things that I wanted to go over today. Grow my knowledge and try to grow others' knowledge. You know, this trading stuff is a lot of psychology. It's a lot of mental work. You have to overcome a lot of FOMO is key. Like if you can't overcome FOMO, you can't just step back from a trade and be like, it's not my strategy. I'm not gonna take it. But if you're just like, everything that kind of looks like your strategy, like, it's not my strategy, but it's somewhat like it. I know what, I'll just take it anyway. No, you can't do that. You cannot do that because that leads to failure. Taking strategies or setups that not your strategy leads to failure. Sometimes you just have to step away from the computer and be like, you know what? I'll just watch it. I'll just watch it. Maybe it'll go in my favor, and maybe I'm like, I should have hopped in because it'll come back around. The market's open, the futures market 6 days a week. It'll come back around. That strategy come back and you're like, okay, now I can get in. Now I'm more clear headed. Now I know that the strategy will be there. But yeah, those are the things I wanted to go over today. Hopefully, it helps your knowledge and grows your knowledge and understanding that this trading stuff is a lot of mental. You have to overcome a lot. You have to separate yourself from reality a little bit and understand that this is what the market is giving you, what the market's giving you. You can't like take it like whatever you see here is, you have to understand that you have to put it to a vision on the market. So as I always say, make my strategy your strategy. Follow the channel, subscribe, things of that nature. Hopefully you like these videos, somewhat different from what I normally post, like breakdowns. But I want to be versatile when it comes to making videos. I don't want to just post breakdowns because sometimes you don't make money, or sometimes I don't trade, and I don't have the video to make. But I want to grow this community and grow this trading site community a little bit. But instead of that, follow the channel, subscribe, make my strategy, make your strategy, and that's the end of the video.